So I've won a lot of prizes in my past. I've won a $48,000 showcase on The Price is Right, $1,000 on the radio. I've won a MacBook Air costing $1,600. I've won private surf lessons with Bethany Hamilton, aka Soul Surfer. I've won a GoPro camera. I've won theme park tickets. I've won front row seats to a KIIS concert plus an autograph CD by them. I've won, what else? A $100 Hollister gift card. I've won $100 speakers, and I've won a bunch of other things. And a lot of people are like, dang, Richard, you're so freaking lucky, man. And based off the Google definition, I'm not lucky, because every single contest and prize that I've won has been extremely intentional about me winning the prize. So there are 3 key things that has led me to win all these $52,000 plus worth of prizes. And I'm gonna share them with you, because not only does it relate with winning prizes, but also it relates to life. This is the same 3 principles that successful people like Steve Jobs, as well as Mark Zuckerberg, use to start up their enterprises. And starting with number 1. Number 1 is it's so important for you to take chances. You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta put yourself and open yourself up to these opportunities. For the example of The Price is Right, I actually was not about to go to The Price is Right. I was about to go home for spring break. I was in college, and I made a split-second decision at the last second, saying, you know what, I've never been to a game show. I'm just gonna go check it out, see what it's all about. Number 2, you gotta set yourself up for success. That means you gotta like look at the environment and see how can you use this to your advantage. So for The Price is Right, the producer and his assistant were interviewing every single person on the show, one by one, about 300 audience members, and 10 to 15 seconds each. And I noticed everyone was just super enthusiastic. You got a lot of hardcore fans of The Price is Right. Me, I rolled out of bed and I was just there. So I'm like, how could I stand out? I mean, I was excited, but not excited as these other people. These people were crazy. And I figured out, for me to stand out, I needed to do something different. And what I did was, when I introduced myself, I offered a handshake. And the producer was really surprised, and boom, I was on the show. So that's kind of setting yourself up for success. You gotta figure out a way to stand out. So that's what got me on the show. And number 3, the most important thing is also just to stay calm and think. You're in a certain situation, and oftentimes we get frantic, scattered, and the most important thing you can do for yourself is just stay calm and think about the situation. So throughout the game show, I had 3 key decisions to make, and situations where a lot of people will kind of just like throw out random numbers, but I took the time to think. The first one was when I got called up on stage. I was actually given the least favored spot, which is the first person to make a bid. And I knew that I had to make a high enough bid that no one would bid over me by like $1, which would pretty much cancel out my bid and make it completely useless. So bid high enough, but bid just underneath the actual retail price of the jacuzzi, which was what I bidded on. And fortunately, no one outbidded me, so that's what got me on the show. The second decision I made was when you spin the wheel, and the object of the game is to get $1 or 100. And so a lot of people, you know, it's a very novel wheel. Everyone kind of knows about the wheel. You spin as hard as you can and pray that you have a 1 in 20 chance of hitting the $1. For me, I said, okay, so how can I use this to my advantage? So actually, right before I spun the wheel, I lifted it up to like cock it back before I spun. That way I could feel how heavy the wheel was and how far it would spin. And I mean, once I let go, it was kind of up to fate or whatever you believe in. But I had some control over the outcome of the getting $1, and I ended up hitting $1, thankfully. And that gave me a bonus spin, which gave me another $10,000 because I hit one of the lucky numbers. And that leaves me to my third critical decision that I made, which was at the Showcase Showdown. And so because I was fortunate enough to make the most amount of prize money throughout the show, I had the option to bid on the first showcase or pass it to the next contestant. And strategically speaking, it makes more sense to pass it to the next contestant, because that means while they're bidding, you get to calculate, did this person go over and whatever, etc., etc. And based off of who's the other contestant, who's now my friend, I got a sense that she went over by a few $100s. So I knew when I made my bid, I needed to be a little bit more conservative, because my goal was just to get close enough. So that's how it played out, and I ended up winning the showcase of $48,700 something. And just going back, it's so important. 3 things, just to recap. First one, you gotta take chances. You gotta put yourself out there. Number 2 is you got to set yourself up for success. You got to analyze the situation and make the most of given the resources that you have. Number 3 is stay calm and just think. You know, it takes practice, and I think an important thing to remember is you don't have to be perfect in every single situation, but the more times you put yourself into those situations, the more times you'll be successful, and that's how you're going to win. For example, I didn't win $53,000 straight up. There's a lot of times where I failed and I didn't get the prize money. But the most important thing is that you learn in every single situation that you're in. And I think that's one of the most important things. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you realize that the 3 things I just mentioned are great not only to win prizes, but it's also great in life, and that's what's going to drive you to be successful. I want to wrap up this with next week's video, which is also going to be related to The Price is Right. I want to talk about what it's like to be a winner and how it's like to be a winner. It's been 3 years now. And what does it mean to my life now, today? So again, thanks so much for watching. See you next week. Boom!